I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Do your own research.
Consult a professional investment advisor before making any investment decisions.
This show is for entertainment only. Faites vos propres recherches.
Here we are
in another episode
of the Simple Success Podcast.
And
this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
Bonjour à tous.
Bonjour Lee. Bonjour DT.
Bonjour everybody.
We are going to continue talking about calmness in investing, yes?
Yes, although it will lean more into the French side of things this week.
Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler de la façon de réussir en investissant.
Hey.
Et reste calme dans le processus.
That's good.
Yes, it is good, Fiona. Hey Lee, did you have a question?
Oui, j'ai investi dans des actions et des fonds communs de placement.
Yeah, I mean, oui, j'ai investi dans des actions et des fonds communs de placement.
That's yes, I have invested in stock and mutual funds in French.
Il est important de faire des recherches approfondies avant. Avant de. Oui, again. Avant de prendre toute décision d'investissement.
Do your own research.
She said with a French accent.
That's my everyday accent, Serge.
So can we do this in a way that doesn't make us think so hard?
We could. I guess we could. But why would we want to do that?
Because we want to make a habit, which means it has to be fun.
Oh, okay, sure. Even though you said that last week. It also means that it has to be regular.
Which is what makes it a habit.
And that doesn't mean that it has to be easy.
Never easy?
I didn't say that, DT, you marveling raft of chocolate cookies.
So what do you mean then?
I mean that it will start out hard.
It?
Yeah, it. Whatever we need to do to make ourselves better.
Oh, you mean whatever is our goal?
Goals.
Vraiment? That's really, in French.
Right, and that means we are going to make the eventual state of becoming a habit a requirement when defining our goals.
Can you say that in English, please?
That was in English, DT.
Okay then, break it down.
Break it down. S'il vous plaît.
Of course I will. We want the end game to be a habit.
Okay.
So then every good goal must be able to be a habit.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Or it's not a good goal.
True. It would not be a good goal if you'd rather it not become a habit.
Par exemple? That's for example. In French.
Okay, Lee, just so you know, examples come in Act 2, but I'll give you one now.
That's good.
When I quit smoking, which was almost 31 years ago now.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You were saying?
Yes, I was saying that when I quit smoking.
Yes.
What I was doing is this.
Is what?
Yeah, what?
Write this down. I was replacing one habit with another habit.
Or wanting to anyway, but do tell.
I was replacing the habit of smoking with the habit of not smoking.
Oh, just like we replace the habit of not using French with the habit of using it.
Parfois, that's sometimes in French.
Meaning that we can get better.
Yes, and also meaning that our investing can get better.
Ha ha, you're onto something now. But speak you so gently, pardon me, I pray you.
I thought that all things had been savage here, and therefore I putteth on the countenance
of stern commandment.
But where you are,
blush and hide your sword
until you have repeated the act of better investing.
However you define that, of course.
Of course. Repetition.
Répétition.
Just like at this point in the show every week with great repetition is...
Break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us, please subscribe to us in your favorite podcast player. You can find us on both the App Store and the Play Store because our message is for everyone. Leave a rating for us, or even better, tell a friend. Whichever you choose, thank you so much for helping us do this for you. To leave us a written message, which just might lead to more in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes to find our subreddits. There is also our Facebook group page, Twitter, and other ways which we'll tell you about from time to time. You can also find an Easter egg every so often, so listen closely. Thank you again, and keep those constructive ideas coming.
We didn't do the rhyming thing this week, John.
Not in the first act, you mean?
True that, but that's where we always do it.
Act 1.
Right, in Act 1.
Yeah, that's where we usually do that.
Well, let's get to it then.
Okay, since French is pretty easy after all.
As languages go. And speaking of go,
Here we go again.
écoutez, mes amis, rassemblez-vous autour de cette journée généreuse. Parlez des investisseurs, une manière prospère du bonheur not les richesses, c'est mon credo. Coaching des vies financières, les chemins que nous mènerons.
This does not work as well.
What, you mean it doesn't seem to rhyme?
Yeah, that. I'm just all the more amazed by someone who can rhyme in other languages.
Oh, like we did last week, Pushkin's Eugene Onegin.
Yeah, again, wait a minute. We did talk about this masterpiece last week, didn't we?
Yep, we did. Though it was in Spanish instead of French. Either way, Pushkin sure was quite a talent.
Yeah, so where were we?
I think he means that you should try it.
You were about to give it a try.
Oh, right, and here goes. Dites-moi, quels succès possédez-vous? Car moi, jeune entrepreneur, j'ai recherché les succès, les coachings des vies financières et la voie à sauver. Je suis donc certain que c'est la façon de grandir.
Yeah, you're right.
About what am I right, John?
About how it doesn't rhyme as well.
Which is exactly what you said last week.
N'ayez crainte, cher Diti, car je suis là. Un conseiller financier vous doute à dissiper. Coaching des vies financières donne une perspective de bonheur pour vous aider à investir en toute confiance.
Can I ask you something real quick, John?
Sure thing, DT.
Is doing this thing we are here doing, is it achieving something that you want to achieve?
It is.
What's that?
It's taking a good idea and making it fun in a new way.
Okay, on with it then.
Soon. It's your turn now.
Oh, right. Okay, écoutez bien, mes amis, c'est vous les plus choisis. Ils ont un sagesse qui nous réjouit tout de recevoir vos actifs, repartissez les logements pour affronter les tempêtes et prospérer avec fierté.
That's not very much to remember, DT.
Yet there'll be more, my liege.
Even without working more on the rhymes?
And Einstein did discover that time is actually money.
Indeed, yes. This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Ooh, Shakespeare.
Ou French.
Be kindly, as I try to pronounce things right. I mean, I don't get it right every single time, but I'm practicing. For example, mais dis-moi, cher Diti, par où commencer? Comme j'ai un désir brûlant dans mon cœur, pour investir et grandir, pour la serme marque, mais les peurs des échecs me tiennent dans les flous.
It's okay, John. Listen on. N'est pas pure, mon ami. Il existait un moyen pour investir judicieusement et garder les craintes à distance. De recevoir votre portefeuille, repartissez les logements dans différents secteurs. Laissez résider votre patrimoine.
But diversification is a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah, that's fine, since we make hard things easy around here.
Okay, you're right. Just a few final questions then.
I'm ready.
Mais que se passe-t-il si je n'ai pas les fonds nécessaires pour investir? Y a-t-il un moyen pour moi de me manifester? Le coaching des vies financières peut-il gagner, même avec des ressources limitées à mes côtes?
Oh, I was sure you meant questions in English.
So you should pay more attention then.
Ah, tellement, vraiment ne crains pas le manque, car investir n'est pas seulement une question de stock. Commencez petit et régulier avec ce que vous avez et regardez votre patrimoine côté étape par étape.
I have to agree there.
Hey, any final thoughts for this second act?
Act 2.
Just a couple. Okay, got my ears on. Cute, mon ami. Allora, adapton tout de coaching de vie financière de point de vue de bonheur. Investir en connaissance de cause et non manière spéculative. Avec diversification, prudentissement, nous naviguerons sur le marché et trouverons notre part. That's a very good idea. Bonne idée, DT. In fact, je vous remercie tous vous pour vos sages conseils. Pour l'instant, j'ai inversé l'investissement sur un nouveau jour. Je vais commencer petit et régulier avec un plan clair et régulier mes richesses comme seul un entrepreneur peut le faire. Which is what I've been saying all along, and I will prove it.
But first, break number 2.
We know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es bueno, Sybil. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too.
Can I simple that? Por supuesto. Of course. Just simple it.
Please make sure your seat belts are fastened and your tray tables are in their upright position.
And make sure simple is a verb like Google is a verb. DT, j'ai la banane.
That's I have the banana in French.
That's great, Lee. What does it mean in English?
It means DT, that I'm feeling great.
Well, good for you, Matt. But what did John mean when he said,
I have the banana.
It means DT, that I'm feeling great.
oh, interesting. I guess it means I'm still not being focused enough, huh?
Mais no, you are learning and...
That's good.
Told you.
Well, thank you. That does mean a lot to hear you say that.
Surely you have a question?
I do. How does learning a language that's hard help us be better investors?
Well, don't make a whole cheese out of it. It's better than taking a peach in the face.
A little bit of French humor there.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that. I suppose you're going to say that learning the French language can have a significant impact on one's success in the world of investing.
It can, DD.
Of course it can, or we wouldn't be doing this show, would we?
Correct, DD. Hey, want to hear the story now?
At last.
When we make our language ability broader, we expand our minds and we see new opportunities.
Which will enhance our investment strategies, I suppose?
Yes, that's right.
How so?
How does being able to invest in more parts of the world sound?
Like France?
Yeah, of course, or Canada, Africa, among other places.
So this is a good language strategy all around then?
It is. And I can point you to all the right steps to take so that you're always practicing getting better.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
Salut. À la prochaine.
This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes
Techno King, John C. Brandy, Alter Ego, Doubting Thomas, Fact Checker, a small brown beef animal, really tiny, facts are important but are also easy, Social Manager, Abraham Lincoln, Media Expert, Augustus Caesar, Psychologist, William James, Sound Designer, Adobe's Creative Suite, Language Consultant, Leah, the French Do-Your-Own Research Lady, Videographer, Etomon Koshki, Audio Props, Les Paul, inspiration, many podcasts and other sources, and of course Napoleon Hill.
We also have websites, and you can subscribe to both podcasts. You can even send us a video, audio, or text message, but of course you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to get the links and stuff. And all those clickable links are in the show notes.
And before we forget, the artificial intelligence or AI voices that you hear in our work are offered up by Google, Amazon Polly, and OpenAI, like we say in the show notes. They don't sponsor us yet, but we love what they do, and we just love what AI can do when lovingly crafted.
Finally, you can find us on Podmatch.com, Matchmaker.fm, Podbooker, and Podcast Guests, where we consider guests and consider guesting on other people's shows.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Ben Sound and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams, as well as from AI MuseNet. The sound effect credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canusi G, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sand Emotions, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes, that's his or her name. All on freesound.org. Also, languages are the bomb.
Paul.